You're listening to the international hit show, The Baby Names Podcast. And here are your hosts, the Moss Sisters.
I'm Jennifer Moss.
And I'm Mallory Moss Katz.
And we're the founders of babynames.com.
And we're sisters, too.
We are. You know, our website has been online for over 22 years. That's older than some of our fans.
And it's as old as my baby.
I know. So our first segment is names that we've discovered since the last episode. And for me, I'm always trolling credits of my favorite TV shows. And believe it or not, Breaking Bad has been off the air for 5 years now. So I went back and I perused their cast and crew list and came up with some cool names. Obviously, Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Gus Fring, which are all great names. Giancarlo is an Italian name. It's a compound of Gian, which is the Italian version of John, and Carlo, Carl. Wolf Muser played Herr Herzog. Shanoa Allen played Schlubby Guy number 1. What a title. I wonder if that's on his resume. I bet it is because it's Breaking Bad, okay?
I want to play Schlubby Guy number 1.
I'll play Schlubby Girl number 1.
I remember when Veronica was in a play in 2nd grade, she was Villager number 2.
Well, I remember when you were chairman of the Bricks.
I was chairman of the Bricks once in crew.
Yep. Other cool names are Ka Beasler, who played Thug Buddy. Coco Brown played Mail Lady. Argos McAllen played The Wino. Tabor Cross played Neighbor. Copper Perry was the key hairstylist. And if you haven't watched Better Call Saul yet, you might not have realized that Saul Goodman is not the character's real name. It's Jimmy McGill, but his pseudonym comes from the phrase, "It's all good, man."
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, the first name on my list also comes from the credits of a TV show I was watching, although I forget what I was watching. It is Joplin for a girl named after Janis Joplin, I would presume.
Interesting, yeah.
I really like that, as long as the baby doesn't have the same tragic ending. Since I'm talking about J names, I also like Jasper, which became wildly popular after the movie and book series Twilight came out.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jasper is actually a form of the name Casper. It is also the name of a semi-precious stone in one of the 3 magi in the Christian Bible.
Yeah.
Then there's Jamila, I like for a girl, an Arabic name meaning beautiful, and also the daughter of boxer Muhammad Ali, and her twin was Rashida.
Cool. And tied to our last episode on occupational surnames, one meaning of the surname Joplin is that it's an occupational name meaning maker of barrels, derived from the word jopper, meaning a vessel containing 4 gallons of liquid.
Did not know that.
There you go.
Okay.
Our topic of the week is place names as baby names. And that's been a baby name trend that's popped up really in the last 2 to 3 decades. Now, it goes the other way, too. A lot of places are named after people, like Washington and the city of Houston, named after Sam Houston.
Who was Sam Houston?
A guy in Texas. I don't know. Do I look like I come from Texas? I can tell you who the Wrigleys are.
Perhaps we should take a moment and look up who Sam Houston is. He was an American soldier and politician. His victory at the Battle of San Jacinto secured the independence of Texas from Mexico in one of the shortest decisive battles in modern history, according to Wikipedia. All right. Thank you, Wikipedia. There are many reasons why parents would choose a place name for their child. One, they have a connection with that particular place. It means something special to one or both of the parents. It might evoke an emotion or association, like it feels exotic, different, or romantic, such as Paris.
Yeah, or Moroccan. Remember, Mariah Carey's son is named Moroccan, even though it's not Morocco, and that still seriously bugs me. But Mal, if you were to choose a place name for a child, what would your choices be?
Well, that's a tough one because I'm more of a traditionalist in naming babies.
Yeah.
I would say perhaps I would go with Charlotte, which is kind of cheating, and nickname her Charlie. As far as boys, maybe Bronx Mowgli? Just kidding.
Okay.
That would be the last one I'd choose. Most likely I would pick Evan or Evanston after the city where we and our parents and our grandparents grew up.
Cool. Well, in my fantasy family, I was going to use Chicago for either a boy or a girl, but now then Kim and Kanye has used it, never mind, even though they stole it from me. I also love Chamonix. That's a name that we mentioned in another episode. It's a resort town in France. I love the place name Cambria, which is a town in California, and also Avalon, which is a city on Catalina Island. I think Avalon is a great alternative to the more popular and overused now, Ava.
Hey, my stepdaughter Jordana knows a Cambria. It's her best friend.
So anyway, first let's identify some place names that are currently on the U.S. Social Security charts for 2017.
Okay.
On the boys' side, there's Dayton, Denver,
Woohoo!
Bodie. Bodie is a small ghost town in California near me, actually, and it's a really cool place to visit because it has a lot of old cabins and historical stuff. There's London, which is a name that shows up on both sides of the chart. Cairo with a K. Houston, Lincoln, Hudson, Roman, Kingston, which is the name of Gwen Stefani's son, Camden, Zion, Israel, Phoenix, Orion, and I don't know if that's technically a place, it is a constellation, Peyton, Dakota, Princeton, Winston, Memphis, Cairo with a C, Orlando, Boston, Canaan, Zaire, and Dane, which is not technically a place either, but indicates where the person does come from, Denmark.
Also, the name Bodhi, as it's written Bodhi, is a popular name, and it means enlightenment or awakening in Buddhism. I just wanted to differentiate that out as well.
Sanskrit, yes.
Okay, so girls' names for places can include Brooklyn, London with O-N or Y-N endings, Peyton, which certainly could be boy or girl name.
Yeah, definitely.
Peyton Manning, yo.
Yeah.
Catalina, Alexandria, Cali, like for California.
Oh, yeah.
Paris. And I've known some boy Parises. I can't remember. Is Michael Jackson's Paris a male or female?
Female. But there's a male Paris in Shakespeare.
Right, exactly. Aspen, Heaven. I think that counts as a place.
Yeah, it does.
Sierra, Malaysia, Virginia, although that's kind of like Charlotte, a place named after a person.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah, that's a very popular name. And that really has kept its popularity over the years.
Yes, for decades, definitely.
Dallas, that's also both male and female. Madison, NOLA, I like that, as in New Orleans, Louisiana. Vienna, which was a nickname for my daughter Veronica.
Oh, yeah.
Zion, Z-I-O-N, and Egypt. I haven't heard about too many Egypts.
Yeah, it's on the top 1,000.
Wow. And then there are place names that are not proper names, names that are usually coming from surnames, as we talked about in the last episode, like Lee means field, briar, meadow, sky, etc.
Yeah, and I also want to say that a lot of the place names in the United States especially come from Native American tribes and phrases like Dakota, Cheyenne, Illinois, Seattle, Boston, Alaska, and even Malibu, to name a few. And we really advise against using Native American tribal names for Anglo children, as it is a form of cultural appropriation. And if you're not familiar with the term, it's when someone from an oppressor race appropriates or adopts something cultural from an oppressed race. In the case of indigenous people, the white man basically slaughtered them, took their land and everything they owned, and now we think it's cool to name our babies after a sacred tribe. I mean, I never even thought about it myself. Obviously, I'm Anglo. But when I read how incredibly offensive it is to Native Americans, I understood and I got it. So I want to just put that out there.
You know what? I hate to tell you, you're not really that Anglo. Just so you know.
What are you talking about? I've done my DNA test. My white mother is my mother and my white father is my father. So I'm Anglo and you're a crazy person.
All right.
Okay, Rick, what time is it now?
And now it's time for Celebrity Baby News.
Kate Hudson was talking baby names on the Ellen Show this week. Although she says they have several picked out, they aren't going to decide until the baby is born. Kate is expecting a baby girl any day now who will join Big Brothers Bingham and Ryder.
Speaking of Big Brothers, and I'm always speaking of Big Brother, season 19 Big Brother U.S. house guests Jessica Graff and Cody Nixon are expecting their first child together.
I cannot believe this. Everything went so fast with them.
I know. You might also remember them from winning The Amazing Race, where Cody proposed to Jess at the end of one of the legs. Jess also says she's just over 11 weeks pregnant, and the due date is April 11th, 2019, just 2 days before Cody's birthday. Cody has one daughter, Paisley, from a previous relationship.
Wow. Well, good luck to them. And there is more baby news from the Big Brother house. Unfortunately, it's not as happy. Season 20 contestant Bailey Dayton, 25, got pregnant while on the show. I think that is a first. But while she was in the jury house, she suffered a miscarriage. She and Chris Williams, a.k.a. Swaggy C, had an obvious showmance from very early on in this season, but it only lasted 22 days until he was evicted. During the finale, Swaggy proposed to Bailey, and she accepted. But we're so sorry for their loss.
That's sad. Our hearts go out to them and their families. Well, in happier news, Rashida Jones and her boyfriend Ezra Koenig welcomed their first child together, a baby boy, on August 22nd. No one even knew she was preggo.
No, she kept it totally secret.
Ooh. Rashida and Ezra named their new arrival Isaiah Jones Koenig. Isaiah is a biblical name of Hebrew origin, meaning God is salvation.
Might be Koenig. I know Sarah Koenig from Serial pronounces it Koenig.
Oh, you're right.
But it could be different. It's okay. Might be Koenig, might be Koenig.
You say Koenig and I say Koenig.
Mallory, no singing. Okay. Owen Wilson announces he is expecting a child with girlfriend. Okay, here it comes. Varuni Vangsvarades.
Wow.
Varuni Vangsvarades, after taking a paternity test over the summer to confirm it. Owen has a 7-year-old son, Ford, with his ex-girlfriend, Jade Duell, and a 4-year-old son, Finn, with personal trainer, Caroline Lindquist. Varuni already has a baby name picked out for her daughter, due in December. She will be named Lila.
Ooh, I like the name Lila. It means night or black. It reminds me of Layla, too, another fave. Hey, Jen, speaking of which, when are we going to do our podcast about names from songs?
Oh, yeah, that'll be before our end of season for sure.
Okay.
For details about these stories and up-to-the-minute celebrity baby news, visit the Celebrity Baby blog on babynames.com. Just click Celebrity in the menu. Now it's time for Baby Names Q&A, where we answer questions from you, our listeners.
And sometimes give you unsolicited advice.
Here's our first letter. Dear Jennifer and Mallory, recently my husband and I have been undecided on a permanent name for our 3-year-old son and want to give him one before he starts school. For the past 3 years, we've given him a bunch of names from Tyler to Steven. We usually just call him Junior or King because it's what he responds to. I was just wondering if you have any suggestions that my husband and I can both agree on before he starts school. Sincerely, Cameron.
Hold on. First of all, I would respond to snow cone.
What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is she calls her, well, my point is she calls her baby whatever he responds to. And if I was a little baby and my mom said snow cone, I'd respond to it.
Okay, I get it now.
Right.
Well, I responded to her because I was completely perplexed by this. And I said, what name did you put on the birth certificate? And why are you unhappy with it? And she said, legally, the son's name is Tyler, but they grew unhappy with the name because they felt it was too simple and wanted to give him something that reflects his growing personality.
Oy vey. Okay, I think it's completely irresponsible not to have this child named yet. He should at least be called something consistent. It doesn't take a practitioner of psychiatry to tell someone that there needs to be some kind of permanence in a child's life so that they can identify themselves. So honestly, pick something and go with it. If he wants to change it when he's older, he can. If you're having trouble choosing, pick 4 names if you want. Just do it.
I completely agree. I was advising parents that were trying to figure out their baby's name or had name remorse, which obviously these parents do. That they must choose something before the first year because even a baby identifies themselves, their own identity and personality with their name. So if you're going to wait until 2 or 3, or in one case where I advised they were 6 years old, I said, I think it's time to take them to a therapist.
That's right.
Because obviously there's something else going on here.
Yeah.
There's something else. I don't think it's about the name. Now, you're the psychiatric practitioner. I'm not, but I think there's more than a baby name problem here.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
So yes, pick a name. If it's Tyler, it's Tyler. If you want to call him Junior or King, I don't understand why you'd call him Junior unless the father's name is Tyler. I don't think it's that basic a name. Even John is a basic popular name, but that doesn't mean that you need to, slough it off and not use it. It's a perfectly fine name, and so is Tyler. But if you really, really are not happy with it, then number 1, pick something and stick with it, like Mallory says. And then I would go to family therapy.
Yeah.
Unsolicited advice here.
Look inside yourself. Ask yourself, why am I unhappy with picking a name? Why is this taking me so long? It's definitely something that is indicating some kind of disharmony.
Right. Agreed. Okay, now on to our second letter. Hi, Jennifer and Mallory. I really enjoy your site and, like many of your followers, love names. We have a son named Callahan and are expecting again. We have been having a hard time finding a strong and somewhat unique name for a boy that goes well with our son's name. At this point, Camden is at the top of our very short names list. My question is, are the nicknames for brothers Cal and Cam too close? Thank you, Ashley B.
I don't think Cal and Cam are too close because they both have very strong endings. The L and the M are nothing alike. I would say go ahead with Cal and Camden.
Although the full names Callahan and Camden both have a very similar ending. So I think that you open yourself up to getting confused, both within the family and outside of the family. Is this Callahan? Is this Camden? They both start with CA. They both end in the N sound. So I would say if you have to and you love it, use it. Cal and Cam are not so similar, but the full names are similar.
Well, that's a good answer. All right, we have another question from Stephane, and I love her name, Stephaine. I'm sure she gets called Stephanie all the time.
Maybe it is Stephanie. We don't really know the pronunciation.
I don't know.
Stephane? It might be Stephane or Stefan.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's Stephanie.
Yeah.
But anyway, please write us back and let us know how to pronounce it. Hi, Jennifer and Mallory. I love listening to your podcast. I recently found out that I am pregnant with my second child, and we won't be finding out the gender. I am wondering how you feel about the name Navy, like the color for a little girl. I am not sure how I feel about it, but I have seen it a few places, and I'm kind of intrigued. Also wondering if you have any name suggestions. My daughter's name is Sloan Elizabeth, and hoping to find a name for her little sibling that complements hers. Thanks, Stephane.
Interesting. You know, I like the name Navy as a color name.
Me too.
It's short and sweet, easy to pronounce, easy to spell. But it's also identified with the branch of the military as well. So if you don't mind that association, some people prefer it. Maybe mom or the dad was in the Navy, or maybe one of their grandparents were in the Navy. I really can't say anything wrong with that name. It's really cute.
Yeah, I like maybe even consider the spelling Navie.
Meh.
You don't like that?
No,
Maybe.
I'd keep it simple. Otherwise, I mean, that goes back to creative spellings of common names. Because everyone knows the word Navy and is going to spell it Navy. Hello.
I had a pregnant thought there.
And a pregnant pause, apparently.
All right. So I still kind of like Navie because it kind of softens Navy. But actually, I like both spellings. I think both would work. Jennifer, what do you think about sisters to Sloan Elizabeth that wouldn't be Navy?
I don't do name suggestions.
Why not?
Because I really think that it's up to the parents to come up creatively with name choices that they love. Otherwise, you get into the vicious cycle of throwing out names that I prefer and them vetoing it, and that just doesn't work.
Right. Well, how about this, Stephane? Write us back, tell us how to pronounce your name, and give us some other ideas that you've been thinking of, and we'll give you our 2 cents.
How about Marine?
Marine. I thought you didn't give out suggestions.
Army.
Oh, Marine and Army. God, you're so dumb.
Don't say that. You're so mean.
You're so mean.
Anyway, thank you to all the people who took the time to rate and review the Baby Names podcast. It helps others find our show. And if you haven't already done so, take a moment to click those stars.
And please click 5 of them. We really work hard on this. And because we're not true crime, we don't make any money from this.
Nope, it's truly from our passion for names. Hey, let's do an episode on true crime, serial killer names. That would be awesome.
I don't know. That's kind of scary. And why do they always have 3 names?
I know the answer to that, and I'll reveal it in our upcoming show about names and true crime. If you have feedback or suggestions, write us at podcast@babynames.com. That comes straight to me and Mallory. No middleman.
Or no middle woman. And if you want to chat about this or any other episode, join us in our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/babynamespodcast.
Thanks for tuning in and have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.